Ethereum scraps ETH 2.0 in roadmap rebrand. So effectively, what they're doing here is they're keeping a proof of work section and they're keeping a proof of stake section. Now, the thing that I find interesting, if you're going to have Ethereum moving towards this Ethereum 2.0 type thing but you're not going to call it Ethereum 2.0, you're going to have proof of stake and proof of work, and then that's going to be your ETH 2.0 system. And people are going to recognize that both of those consensus mechanisms are operating at the same time. So you've got your execution layer, they're calling it, and your consensus layer. If your proof of stake was well distributed, wouldn't you put the consensus layer on the proof of stake? Sorry, hold on. Wouldn't you put the consensus layer on the proof of work and put the operational layer on the proof of stake? These guys have done it the other way around. They've got the consensus layer on the proof of stake, which is where the big stakes matter, right? Whereas I would have said, well, if you really want to be decentralized, wouldn't you put your consensus layer on the proof of work so you have like a node voting system where the majority nodes win? But they're not doing that. They're going to run the proof of work as the execution layer, and the consensus layer as the proof of stake, which I think just basically gives control of the whole ecosystem over to the Ethereum Foundation. So I can't quite get my head around why they've done that. Anyone in the room knows?
So I actually think I might clarify this. I think that the reason they're switching from 1.0 to 2.0 is so they don't want people to say, oh, well, we're Ethereum 1.0 and then have like a market cap. I do believe they are completely fading out proof of work over time. And this is more of a merge to get people onto the proof of stake consensus. I could be wrong. That was what they were going to do. Who knows if they pivoted and they're going to do some kind of Frankenstein proof of work, proof of stake chain. I actually don't think that's the case, but I could be wrong. But just either way, one of the things I wanted to say that was pretty cheeky is they say consensus layer. And it's like right now, what's keeping them actually decentralized is proof of work that protects them from their own pre-mine. And once they move away from proof of work completely and they put the consensus layer onto coin voting, then I mean it's just go look at some of the old videos of Joe Lubin where he's talking about you can buy as much as you want, just use different wallets. He was known to be one of the single biggest buyers of Ethereum during that. I mean, who in the hell is going to trust the future backbone of our financial system on that shit? Like, sure, be my guest. You can say, oh, well, I think he might have sold most of it. Or I think. The point is you don't know. On Hive, I do know. On Ethereum, I have no idea who holds what. And I know it has a very, very, very shady start. Proof of work, it doesn't matter. That's why it wasn't a big deal. It's like, oh, we're proof of work. Doesn't matter who holds the coins. Whatever. Like, it's still kind of meh. I don't really agree with it, but whatever. You're at least not selling the security of the chain to get going. But now, 4 or 5, whatever years later, you're going to switch to proof of stake. That's a big fucking no-no. And I don't care what anybody has to say. I'll debate whoever on this. There's no rational reason that anyone can explain to me how that's a good idea for security. It just isn't.
We're saying the same thing because I can't see why you wouldn't have the governance on the proof of work and just let the operational layer sit on the proof of stake. I don't profess to be like a hardcore blockchain expert from that technical point of view.
That would actually work for Ethereum if they did that. That would actually be a great idea.
It would. That's the point. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why they've done it the other way around. But I'm sure they've got a good reason. We'll see how that goes. But and then the other question is, what type of governance layer are they actually employing? Is it really going to be a coin voting governance system? I very much doubt it from listening to what people in Ethereum are talking about. It needs to be. But
it would need to be something novel then, because you have proof of work and then you have proof of stake. All proof of stake is coin voting at some level. So unless they come out with something revolutionary, which would be cool, I'd like to see a way to have consensus without proof of work and without coin voting. It's sort of like trying to picture a new universe without using any of the current things you have. It's kind of hard to think of, but if they do, that's going to be great because it's going to stretch our minds and it's going to make us think that maybe things we can use for Hive, because I've never said coin voting is the best thing in the world and is perfect. I think it is one of the best things in the world in terms of what we have, but I'm not saying it's perfect. There's nothing that's perfect. So If we can maybe learn something from Vitalik's wisdom on consensus. Although I haven't really heard him talk too much about it. Like he has some talks about consensus and how to decentralize, especially lately. But early in his career, is mostly about the technology. I've listened to everything the guy said. Same with Dan Larimer. You call me a fanboy. I just never agree with any of the people I respect fully. And if you do, then there's something wrong with you, because nobody's perfect. You have to find your little at least way to improve it in your own mind. So I don't know. We'll see what they eventually come out with, when they come out with. I guess it's just Ethereum now. Everyone's been hyping up Ethereum 2.0, and now it just goes back to Ethereum. So we'll wait for Ethereum, the upgrade for the consensus layer, I guess. We'll see.